Cook with the Genealogy Gems podcast, and I'm here today at the Family History Expo in Salt Lake City. And I'm very pleased to welcome Lisa Alzo to the show. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. It's great to be here. Great to see you again.
Wonderful to see you. That's what I love about these expos is we get a chance to see each other in person and catch up. And, you know, there's always the wonderful stuff on Facebook and our emails, but nothing like being in person. And I know that many people will recognize your name because they've probably at least read one of your articles. I know that you have written for Family Tree magazine. Tell us what kinds of topics that they might look for and see Lisa Alzo on the byline.
I've done a variety of topics, and so one of my most recent ones was finding elusive ancestors. I've done Slovak research. I've done Polish research. I've done just a plethora of articles on how to and female ancestors, and also I've done Family Chronicle and Internet Genealogy, and so I've just done a amazing number of articles that I can't even remember, but it's on my website at lisaalzo.com. You can find a lot of my recent ones. One of the ones I did recently was The Future of Genealogy, where I asked many experts to weigh in on what their thoughts were about what was coming down the pike in genealogy. So that was a fun article to do. And
that was interesting. What did you come away with? What really struck you, or were there things they shared with you that you really weren't aware of? What stood out?
I think everybody was really into sort of the genealogy cloud and how to do social networking and how Facebook and the internet are playing such big roles. And it's interesting because when you're in the blogging community and when you're on Facebook, you read a lot of comments, and it's interesting. One blogger said, well, nobody mentioned the bloggers, and we're the future of genealogy because it really has just exploded with the Twitter and the Facebook and everybody weighing in and getting a chance to do things on wikis and all the wonderful things that we do now that we didn't have, say, 10, 15 years ago. So I think that was kind of interesting to get a comment like that, but I think a lot of the comments were, about what's coming online, what Family Search is doing and databases and DNA testing, just so many things that it's just so exciting to be a genealogist today.
It is. I was talking with some other folks, and they were saying, it's funny that something that is this old, genealogy, so perfectly fits together with things that are so new, the technology side of things. And that it's expanded our research beyond just the folks we know in person in our family to worldwide, if that be the case. I know that you do a lot of research on Eastern European research, and I would imagine that the internet has really opened up some doors to connect with people here in the States as well as around the world.
It really has, and I think that finding some of my biggest discoveries came with connecting with folks that either read one of my articles or read my book, 3 Slovak Women, and they would Google a particular village and my site would come up, and then they would contact me and say, we're related.
Exactly. And that's one of the great reasons for, I think, doing a family history blog. I know a lot of folks I've been talking to here at the Expo, they've been saying, yeah, but I'm no expert, and but there's blogging for folks like you, and we were talking to Renee Zamora and people that are experts in certain areas, and they're definitely doing more of an educational component to their blogs. But anybody can do a family history blog, and that sounds like, according to your experience, a fantastic way to get your surnames out there in the context of your stories and your research. And boy, I imagine when somebody finds you, they're as excited as when you're found.
But what my blog focuses on, and it's the accidental genealogist.blogspot.com. But if you go to lisaalzo.com, you can just link to that. My blog was really about writing in genealogy because writing is one of my areas of expertise. One of the sessions I'm doing here at the Expo is writing your family history step by step. And so I teach people that you can break your projects down into smaller projects, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one long 500-page family narrative. It can be a series of character sketches or profiles, or you can use documents in your research. You can describe photographs. There's so many ways, and you can just do little bits and pieces and then put it all together, so it makes it so much easier. You don't have to be a professional writer. You don't need to be intimidated by it. The first step is just doing it.
I'm interested, if somebody isn't able to make it to an expo and they want to learn, particularly from someone like you with your expertise in family history writing, do you offer classes? Do you have a book? What kinds of first steps can you suggest?
I do. I have a book. It's called Writing Your Family History Book. It's published through Heritage Books, which is affiliated with the National Institute for Genealogical Studies. Mm-hmm. And you can get that on their website, which is just genealogicalstudies.com.
Okay.
And I also teach classes for Gen Class and for the National Institute on writing your family history. I do other classes as well for Gen Class and for the National Institute.
Well, Lisa, as always, I love talking with you. I know you've been a guest of mine on Family History, Genealogy Made Easy, and the Genealogy Gems podcast. I hope that you promise that you'll come back again, even before we see each other at the next expo. We'll do it over the phone if we have to.
I absolutely will. Thank you for having me, Lisa. I really appreciate it, and I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.